Hello lovelies, in this video we're going to be looking at human impact on soil fertility for your AQA A-level in environmental science.
A-level environmental science. Topic 2, the physical environment. Lesson 23, human impact on soil fertility. Firstly, farmers plough their soil to aerate it and increase the levels of oxygen. This involves using machinery to turn the soil over, introducing air and therefore oxygen. Similarly, farmers can also install drainage pipe systems into their soil to prevent flooding and ensure oxygen levels are maintained. Farmers want aerobic soils as the presence of oxygen fuels processes such as aerobic decomposition, nitrogen fixation and nitrification, all of which increase fertility. However, farmers must be careful as overworking the soil can lead to the breakdown of the soil structure, or the PhETs, leading to reduced aeration and therefore fertility. A more sustainable practice is using zero-tillage farming methods. This means not ploughing or disrupting the soil structure in any way to ensure soil structure is not damaged and soil humus levels remain stable. When farmers plant crops, the crops absorb nutrients from the soil through their root networks. Naturally, when the crops die, they would be decomposed and the nutrients they absorbed during their life would be returned to the soil. Agricultural practice, however, means we harvest the crops so the nutrients cannot be returned, causing depletion. As a result, farmers rely heavily on fertilisers. Fertilisers. There are two main groups of fertilisers, organic and inorganic. Inorganic fertilisers are artificial chemicals made using the Haber process that add a large volume of nutrients directly to the soil. As a result, a large proportion of the nutrients are often wasted as plants don't absorb them very quickly and they are very soluble in water, so easily leach into water bodies nearby and cause eutrophication, especially after heavy rainfall. On the other hand, organic fertilisers are natural sources of nutrients, such as livestock manure. This has to be decomposed, so the nutrients are released in smaller amounts, reducing the waste and likelihood of eutrophication. Some farmers use green manure, which is when crops are grown alongside the crops you are going to sell, for the sole purpose of being ploughed back into the soil to increase the organic matter. Soil features. Soil features can heavily impact soil fertility, so ensuring that soil is aerated, well drained, and contains a large population of soil biota will also help increase nutrient levels. Activities that can decrease these characteristics include soil compaction by heavy machinery, pesticide use, and having a high livestock density, so it is important that these are avoided. Farmers can also choose to plant leguminous crops which contain nitrogen-fixing bacteria in their root nodules. The bacteria fix nitrogen for the crops, so they don't need to obtain as much from the soil, reducing the requirement for fertiliser use. Irrigation. Irrigation is the large-scale watering of crops to ensure that water availability is not limiting the growth rate of crops. Remember that plants absorb nutrients through their roots only if they are dissolved in water, so without water in the soil, nutrients would be unavailable, decreasing fertility. Having sufficient water supply will also mean that the pores on a plant's leaf, called stomata, will remain open and continue exchanging gases with the atmosphere. They take CO2 and O2 in through the leaves to be used in processes such as photosynthesis and respiration, which are important for growth. Irrigation releases large volumes of water onto the soil at once, meaning that a lot of water is often wasted as plants do not absorb it very well. It can also lead to waterlogging of the soil and reduce aeration as well as leaching of fertilisers. A more sustainable alternative is drip irrigation, where water is delivered in small doses to each plant to reduce wastage. Compaction. Compaction of the soil occurs through the driving of heavy machinery such as ploughs on the soil, as well as having high livestock densities in a field. When the soil is compacted, the air spaces are removed, reducing the aeration and increasing the likelihood of waterlogging, reducing the fertility as it will decrease populations of aerobic soil organisms. More sustainable farming reduces the use of heavy machinery and ensures livestock density is kept to a level that won't over-trample and compact the soil. Farmers can also install drainage pipe systems to decrease the chance of waterlogging and help the soil remain aerated. Exam tip. In your exam, you could be given any human activity, for example deforestation, and be asked how it may impact upon the soil. So in this case, think about the fact that without trees, there will be reduced dead organic matter as less leaf litter, so perhaps fewer soil biota as a result. There would also be an increased volume of water reaching the soil as interception has been reduced, increasing the likelihood of flooding, which again reduces the aeration and therefore fertility.
Ouch! This is why in some videos I'll explain scratches.